And I'm not a DTM.
And my name is Lawrence Quesada, and I'm also not a DTM. So what should you listen to?
Exactly. Good choice. In fact, does anybody know the definition of oxymoron?
Let Thorton.
Exactly. Joey's pretty right. Let Thorton. But you know what? Who's my accomplice? Okay. So oxymoron 1, oxymoron 2. Wow. But I do have a question for Lawrence. Lawrence, when am I going to become a DTM?
In 2 days.
Oh! A more important question for Lawrence is, when are you going to become a DTM?
Spring conference next year. 2014. 15.
Okay, on the count of 3 because we want to get our juices going there. What does DTM stand for? 1, 2, 3.
Toastmasters.
Not according to my
Don't
wife.
tie me.
Exactly. But according to my wife, it is doing too much. And really, it's because I did too much to become a DTM. I didn't take the correct road. So a lot of you who are in front of me and have heard me speak before know there's something I do all the time. I plagiarize.
Oh.
I am a plagiarist. This is what I do. So I went to the TI site and I read a blog, How to Become a DTM Within 2 Weeks. Lawrence and I got together and we kind of skewed this to actually do it in a shorter time. But before you become a DTM, one of the most important questions is this. Why? Why do you want to become a DTM? Has anybody ever heard it's important to have your why? Raise your hand if you ever heard that. It's important to have your why. Great. You got into a lot of these seminars. Some say you have to have a why that makes you cry. No, you only need a why. Yeah, she's grimacing her face. No, you don't need that. You only need a why that motivates you enough through the peaks and valleys on the journey to becoming a DTM. To take us through this exercise on finding your why is Lawrence Quesada, which means I'm going to be involved with you as well. So Lawrence, please take us.
I've noticed we have one DTM in the room. Is there any other DTMs in here? Okay. Now what I want to do is group yourselves into 4 or 5 and discuss among yourselves why you want to be a DTM. I know Joe, you're already DTM. You can help them out. So we'll give them
Okay, I'm going to join you guys. Whatever you guys want to do. Oh my God! Why do you want to be a janitor? Let's get one more person over here. Just one more person over here because you got 4 there. Let's go 4 over here.
I know it would mess up all of that.
Take a seat here. Good.
Lisa.
Yes.
You want to join us?
All of you want to join with her.
Okay.
That was.
I'm sorry. Hey, how you doing? Oh, join Joe. You can be part of her group.
All right. Okay. So,
How long do we have?
2 minutes. 1 more minute. 1 more minute.
Okay. Why do you want to become a DTM?
Well, I've been to
seems over 25 minutes.
It's time to because you want to advance.
And time's up. Time's up.
You would because you just.
Time's up.
Oh,
Gotta get going. Okay, another minute.
well. Go ahead.
So I want to replace it with DTM.
Yeah, I think at the end of it, I feel like I try to imagine myself.
I want to become a better leader. I'm not so sure what is required of an DTM though. I want to know what is required of an DTM.
That's what it is.
It's about leadership.
And I think I'll have some advance, because they are discussing a lot.
See what he's gonna do. Oh, good question. I'm gonna share a little story when I go back up
Okay,
there.
minutes up.
But
Minutes up.
I can share with you when I go back up there.
All right.
Gavel it in, baby.
Gavel it in.
Okay,
All right. All right. I like this group. I like this group. Okay, let's give a hand for everybody. Now I'm going to call a member from each group and tell us why you want to be a DTM. I met Joe a couple days ago and I see his encouragement. So Joseph, can you tell us why you want to be a DTM?
Hello everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm a performing magician at the Magic Castle. So I imagine that the road to DTM is going to increase my performance. And as you might have heard, like all 22-year-old men, I want accreditation because I want respect, power, and attention.
Lisa?
well, the question was,
Had nothing to do with the coffee.
Yeah.
why do I? Well, I don't know why I want to be a DTM. That's why I'm here and asking these questions and asking Joe, because I don't have a clue what all the process is and what it will actually do for me. But however, his idea sounded very good.
We'll give you this towards the end of the meeting, so there is a process to guide you towards it. Thank you, Lisa. Christine, you're the only one who I know from the group, so I'm picking with you.
Okay, so I'm here to develop my speaking skills and to become a good leader, and that's why I'm thinking of becoming a DTM, but I'm not quite sure. I'm testing the waters.
I want to pick on. You're looking at me too soon.
Just said that. That's what you get for looking at him.
I'm not looking away.
Stand up, let's hear it.
Yes. Okay, I want to become a DTM because I want to understand the culture, the leadership culture in this country, because I come from a different culture. So I want to learn how leaders lead here in this culture.
Nice.
And once you're a DTM already, what now? So, is it also a good idea to help other DTMs in service of them? I believe so. Raise your hand who believes that. So that's what we're going to do. And Glenn will tell you how this is done.
I will.
Yes.
He's the brains. He's the one that tells me what to do. I'm his little puppet. And I really have no problem with that. My wife is over here shaking her head. Why she have to tell people like that? So that's part one, which is to know your
Why?
one more time. Know your
Why.
To know your why. That's part one. And then transitions, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I became a DTM. How many of you know who Red Dragon is? He's a very big guy. He stands tall, very bulky, and in 2013, when he was going to become division governor, he came up to me and he said, Glenn, he looks down at me, I want you to be an area governor. And I said, I don't want to be an area governor, because I have no ambition to be a DTM. And then he said, well, what's your accreditations? I said, ACB, CL. Identically, that's what Lawrence's is. And he says, you have already got over the hurdle. And I said, what do you mean by the hurdle? The CL. The CL is one of the most difficult things to get over. After you get over that hurdle, it's easy selling from that point on. And then he put across to me this. He goes, you know what's going to happen next year, 2014 spring? You're going to have all your qualifications done, except for not being a district officer. And he's going to kick yourself in the head.
Except for, I missed what you said, you dropped your voice.
I'm sorry, area governor, being a district
Thank
officer.
you.
Thank you. No, please, if you can't hear me, please tell me to speak up. I appreciate that, Terry. He was right. all I had to do was 20 more speeches and a couple more workshops, and I was done. In fact, he was more than right. The next fall conference, which was, when was the next fall? What was the fall conference in November? I had already had everything done. I only had to wait to finish my area governorship. That was it. And so that's what we're going to study a little bit is on that hurdle, the CL. Because let's be honest about it. Janet, because you're one of these people who just joined Toastmasters, right? Please stand up for a second. You joined Toastmasters because we all have our own perception of what Toastmasters was when we first started coming in. When you came to Toastmasters, what did you want to do? What did you want to learn?
I already do a lot of public speaking, but I wanted more structure. I know what I've been doing is been working, but I wanted other eyes to look at what I do, and critique me to make me better.
Better communicator, better presenter. Which is exactly why I joined, to be a better presenter. So when you join, why do they give you 2 books? Truthfully, the 2 manuals they give you, what's the one manual they give you first? Competent Communication. What's the other book they give you? Okay, I don't know about you. I'm being totally honest with you. I took that Competent Leadership and I put it on the upper shelf of my house. Because the Competent Communicator, that's why I joined. I want to be a better communicator. Now, how many of you went to the district conference? Okay, a few of you did. Roberta Perry brought up a very interesting. Did you remember what she said? How many people do the Competent Communicator book? Of all of Toastmaster members. Remember how many? Your name is?
Right.
Ryan? He said 10% of all the people, members, do the CC. Then she came up with another percentage. I'm going to go ahead and take that CL. This is what I did finally about 2 years later. Dust it off. She said only 3%. We're talking city, nationwide, countrywide, 122 countries. Worldwide. 97% people don't do it. Go ahead, question.
Is it within the first year, or is it
Ever.
Ever.
Which is totally amazing to me. When you look at, now in front of you is the CL chart. Do you see that competent leadership chart? Everyone bring that out. Oh.
Who else?
2 more? Oh, do fair, pass that down.
Anybody else?
Hand that over to Liz, please. Go ahead and take, do you all have that competent leadership chart in front of you? Just the competent leadership project checklist. You see that? When you first take a glance at that, 45 projects. You know what that makes me want to do? Take that competent leadership and put it back on the shelf. I want to have nothing to do with this. But there's something else that DTM stands for. Do the math.
Yeah.
If you do the math, there's only about 22 that you have to do. That's it. And those ones that are highlighted, those are the toughest 3. Jacinta, could you go ahead, because I see you're not doing it, I was going to make sure you pay attention. Read number 6, just the highlighted portion.
Organizing and delegating.
Organizing and delegating. Okay, Jorge, number 8.
Motivating people.
Motivating people. Okay, over here on this side, I'll make sure you pay attention. Sandra, number 9. Read the highlighted portion.
Mentoring people.
Say that loud.
Mentoring people.
Now, the very last qualification on mentoring people, read that right there.
High performance leadership guidance committee member.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, exactly. What she just said right there, a lot of people don't know what an HPL is. How many people know what an HPL is? Besides you, Joe. Is it Marista?
Marina,
Marina, I'm sorry, I couldn't read it. Marina, what does HPL stand for?
high performance HPL, high performance leadership.
High performance leadership. A lot of people do not know what a high performance leadership is. In fact, I don't know. This is why I brought Lawrence in. Because I want him to explain a little bit about what an HPL is and what an HPL committee member does so they can get credit off their CL. Lawrence, please.
Okay, so high performance leadership, except for Joe again. Do you have any slightest idea what it is? I hear yes.
I believe it's manual that has projects, right? Isn't that like a separate thing?
Not really. Well, there is a manual, but it's not with projects. Any other ideas? Yes.
It seem to be the people who organize all these events.
Yes. That's it. That's it.
Joe, can
Anybody
you
else?
get her a pin?
Anybody else who wants to get it? Okay, so with the high, yeah, Jacinta?
No.
Oh, okay. So what the high performance leadership is you pick a project. It can be in Toastmasters, it can be outside of Toastmasters. High performance leadership is this is the time for you to delegate. So you are going to grab a team of people and tell them what to do. So you are actually practicing your leadership skills by delegating, by organizing, getting a group of people. And one example, LACE, where you are right now. So if you become a co-chair of LACE or have some project, this counts towards your high performance leadership. And trust me, it is a lot of fun. You may be having a hard time delegating, but once you get through that hurdle, it's done. Now, committee member, project number 9, I believe. How many of you have struggled mentoring an individual, getting them to those 3 speeches? Yes, Jacinta and Joe. I'd like to use Jacinta for example. She went through 5 mentees, none of them finished their 3 speeches.
No, that's not true.
Finally, it was.
Fair one, close, right?
Yes.
So a lot of them will drop out.
Yes.
And it's really a struggle to get somebody in, finish your 3 speeches wherein they're not that motivated. The last one is High Performance Leadership Committee. Now, what is that? It is another option rather than mentoring, but don't get me wrong. If a new member comes to the club, I would have him mentor first before doing the HPL committee member. The HPL committee member, let's say Joseph is doing his HPL. He's going to give his speech, his vision speech on what the HPL is, and towards the end, you're going to give your result speech. And towards your process, you can pick up to 4 members who are going to evaluate you on how you did your HPL. Now, isn't that a charm? So, would you rather be an HPL committee member?
Yes.
Would you now? Or be a mentor? Personally, I would mentor. First, I would find somebody, let's say Luz, she was my mentee, she's been good, she's done her 3 speeches, I get credit for that. But what if you have somebody, let's face it, in Toastmasters, it takes, the usual membership, I'm not sure about the statistics, is about 1.5 years for a person to be active in Toastmasters, and then they drop off. Some of them it's sooner. So the HPL committee member is the guide for you to finish project number 9. Do I have any questions so far?
We'll give it to him. We'll do Q&A.
Okay, we'll do Q&A. Yes.
Sorry.
So, real quick.
On the mentoring, why is it important to do the 3 speeches? Is that like a threshold for mentors?
It's not a threshold, but it's for you to guide the new member. And the first 3 speeches is the most critical part of a new member. The icebreaker, it's already difficult for a new member to get through the icebreaker, and then they sit down, it takes a couple of months again. But if you do it like continuously, the first 3 speeches, that gets the ball rolling for them.
It's the foundation.
It's the foundation. Okay, I believe you have a Q&A later, so that, you want to continue?
Everyone give him a hand, by the way. No, really, he's the brains behind this. I'm just the phone. But we're gonna have a Q&A at the very end. So I just want to go ahead and have some people hold the questions, unless we ask something, of course. To remind you, the last time I was up here, DTM, what does that stand for besides Distinguished Toastmaster?
Do the math.
One more time?
Do the math.
Do the math. Okay, we mentioned that there's 22 projects that you're gonna do. That the 3 difficult ones are 6, 8, and 9. Okay, anybody? 22 minus 3? Oh my God! 19. Not you! 19. Okay, doing those 19 projects are very easy because all you really need to do
Come to a
is
meeting.
show up.
Yeah.
What Joseph said right there is just show up. Go to a meeting. You're going to be a general value. You're going to be a Toastmaster. You're going to be a table topic master. You're going to be an agrarian. How many of you are dual members? Going to be. Excellent. You're going to get done faster.
I'll be honest with you, the CL manual, I'm doing my 3rd CL just by showing up.
Excellent, by just showing up.
Just by showing up.
So those 19 we can put aside. Lauren's going to help me out on this one. Those 3, and Joe's going to have to plug her ears on some of this. She's going, oh my God, why did they go do a workshop? Those 3 that we saw, 6, 8, and 9. What would you think of me if I told you you could do this within a month? What would you think? Anybody raise their hand and say, Glenn, you're crazy.
You could do this with what?
Within a month. You can do this in a month.
I'm not saying you're crazy, I'm actually concurring with you, you can do it.
Ooh, see, she has the confidence right
That
there.
is crazy?
No, what I'm
She's
saying.
confident that I'm crazy.
No,
That's
I'm
me.
saying that I concur with you, you're
I
not
know.
crazy.
You agree with me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm both crazy and being concurred at the same time, so I do appreciate that.
No, not crazy, I agree.
Yes. I'm going both ways. Don't worry about it. Lawrence, tell us when the next contest is going to be.
August.
That's going to be at the area level, is that correct?
No.
No.
Oh, see, I'm corrected, the club level. This is even better. In August, it's going to be the club level. Those who need CLs or who are DTM and sponsoring or mentoring people, have them be a contest chair. You could be the contest chair at the club level. By the way, this happens a lot of times. This might where Joe will have to plug her ears a little bit. Do a lot of, Lawrence, there's a lot of people who are contest chairs, do they do their HPL as well?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. So you can get 2 done at the same time, your Project 6 and your HPL.
I'll plug it in real quick because organizing a contest, you need the chief judge. You need...
Well, let me go into that.
Okay.
I'm going to go into that really
You
quick.
go into that.
The reason why I was going to put it across is this. At the area, at the club level, you know all the people in your club, correct? So I can just go up to Joseph, by the way, you're going to be a battle counter. Jorge, you're going to be a Toastmaster. Jacinta, you're going to be SAA, Sergeant at Arms. And Joe, Chief Judge. That's where you're going to get all the judges from. Great. 6 is done, and also now you have the high performance leadership. September comes around, and what area is that area contest?
Area contest.
Area contest. Okay, I'm going to put Lawrence here on the spot here. Area, you're going to be doing area contest A,
Area A.
and who's going to be your partner?
There's going to be Terry.
Terry. Excellent. Call Lawrence up. Find out if he's putting on a contest, which he should be because he's going to be an area governor. Joe, stir it up. This is what I would do. I find out who the area governors are. I call them up and ask them if they already have a contest chair. And you know what the answer I want?
No.
Yes, I want yes. And the reason is because what we did in the club contest, which is you want that person who's being a contest chair to do their HPL. You're going to say, can I get a hold of that person and volunteer to help? You get a hold of that person who's doing their contest chair, ask them if you could be a co-chair. Because I'm sure you agree with this, 2 people could do a project at the same time and get credit for it. By the way, as Lauren said, there's 4 committee members. You could possibly be a committee member as well.
For each.
Yes. You're getting 8 and 9 done at the same time. Within a month, you have finished. You're at 6, 8, and 9. Give yourself a hand. Woo!
Excuse me, Glenn, can you repeat that for us slow people? How are you getting the 6 to 8, whatever?
Well, okay,
again?
no, that's no problem. Okay,
Did anybody
numbers.
else get lost, or was that just moi?
No, 6, project 6 we did at the club level, correct? And we combined that with an HPL. Okay? 8 and 9 we did at the area level. We combined with another person who was a contest chair and became a co-chair. At the same time, they're doing their HPL, and we become a committee member. You guys understand that? What's up? Try to see puzzle faces. Excellent, excellent. So you have gotten through your CL. Red Runyon's hurdle is called CL. His hurdle is called what?
The CL.
Excellent. Let's say a little more fervor. It's called the what?
CL.
You should be excited. You just passed the CL. That's how it should be. Now we're going to have a little fun with Lawrence, because I've been having fun with him the whole time. We've already talked about competent communicator, which we call CC. CL, what does CL stand for?
Leader.
Okay, a little bit more love.
Competent.
So you saw that, Lawrence. How many of you went to the officers training just before this? Okay, quite a few of you. Janet put him on the spot. So that's exactly what I'm going to do with him right now. I'm going to put out some of the accreditations. You're going to say them out loud, and then I want you to stare and try to distract Lawrence, because he's going to rapid fire what the qualifications are. You guys ready?
Ready. Yes.
Excellent. ACB.
Advanced Communicator Bronze.
Stare.
Additional advanced speeches from 2 advanced manuals.
Thank you.
Woo.
ALB.
Advanced Bronze.
Stare at him.
Oh, okay. So you're sorry. So the ALB. Well, you need to be an officer for 6 months, participate in area training, complete. I already say complete your CL, and do 2 successful leadership manuals from the successful leadership series and the club
Excellent.
success series.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
guys got to stare at him. Make him really nervous here. ACS.
Advanced
Communicator Silver.
Stare at
Another 10 speeches and 2 more workshops from the successful club series or communicator series.
If anybody sees it, tell us. ALS.
Advanced Leader Silver.
Okay, this is tricky. The advanced leader. Okay, advanced leader silver. Let's go to it one by one. Be a club, a coach, or a mentor for a club. Complete your HPL. Be a district officer. You can be an area governor, district governor, and all that. And what else am I missing?
Did he get it all?
It's ALS.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have, what was the first thing you said?
High performance.
High performance leadership.
Yeah.
Be a coach, club, mentor.
Complete.
This, what he just said right there is where you can throw the mentor in.
Okay.
Keep on going.
Am I missing anything?
Complete term. as a district
HPL,
leader.
District officer.
District officer.
District officer.
Yeah, there's something missing here in the line here. You're right, it's either sponsor club,
Yes.
coach, or club mentor.
Club mentor.
Yeah, it's not on this.
Club
Oh,
mentor's
it's
not on
in
there.
Okay, my apologies. I didn't put it in there.
And the HPL.
And
Okay.
HPL, okay. So
One,
I'm right.
you are right. See, he's better than what the form that we sent out. By the way, Lena, how many of you are district officers? Or going to be district officers? Excellent. Now, some of you aren't district officers now, but Joe can probably confirm this as well. Sometimes people drop off. It just happens. If you are a district officer, correct me if I'm wrong on this, September 1st or before, in 2014, you can actually count as a district officer if you finish up on June 30th, 2015. So keep your ears open, talk to your area governors, your division governors, because just like Lawrence here, you could be up on the stage on this, what is it, May 2015 as a DTM. So that's very important. I'm sorry, you look like you had a question. No. Okay, excellent. Okay, let's go to the last one, ACG.
Advanced Communicator Goals.
Another 10 speeches and a workshop.
Okay.
That was fast.
That was easy. Now you'll see on there that there's 3 highlighted portions for the ALB, the ACS, and the ACG. Correct?
Yes.
Everybody see that? Yeah. Most of these are something to do with club, communication, leadership. Now, interesting enough, before you do your ALB, everyone's eyes up here. before you do your ALB, look at the other links for the ACS and the ACG. You know what you're going to find out? Similarities, just what Jorge said, similarities. What you can do is take something that you're excellent at. For instance, Lawrence Quesada was our District 52 evaluation champion. Everyone give him a hand, please. What do you think he's good at?
Evaluations.
So why not do your ALB on something that's similar? Evaluation, or it could be on listening, any sort of attribute regarding that. Then you can do your ACS and choose something similar as well. In fact, this is what I want you to remember, repeat after me. Similar topics. 1, 2, 3. Similar topics. This is the key. So you do that for your ACS, you got the ALB, the ACS, you combine those together, you can take all that information and put it into your ACG. You have a 2-hour workshop. This is the easiest thing you could possibly do. This is something I'm going to put across, I'm sorry. Expletives, I know we're not supposed to use them. But HA, which I call HA, something my stepdad taught me, is called half-assed. Okay? Yeah, has anyone ever heard that term before?
What is it?
What's that mean, Jorge?
It means you don't really try.
Say it loud.
It means you don't really try.
You don't really try. What I found out, I know that Joe has done this before. We have people who want to become DTM just before the spring conference. And they just slap in a workshop at the very end that is HA. It wasn't even worth going to. I'm going to be honest with you. If I did one of those HA workshops, I'd want to do it again because I'm not proud of being a DTM. I want to do something I'm proud about. And I think that's very important.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but towards your entire Toastmasters career or your path towards DTM, the HPL, those workshops can be done at any time.
Exactly.
So I can be a CISA, I just entered, I can do, I believe Circe did her HPL 2 months after she joined Toastmasters. That way she gets the computer and get it out of the way.
The other thing too is that if you're a district officer and then you don't do DTM for 5 or 6 years, it still counts.
It still counts. So that's something you don't have to do in the exact order is what they're saying, which is really quite perfect. So what we've learned so far before we go into QA is this. Know your why. Exactly. And Red Runyon said that the biggest hurdle that we need to get over is called CL. And for the ALS, no, the ALB, the ACS, and the ACG, pick a similar, one more time, pick a similar topic. That's all you really need to do. Because you want to be proud when you're a DTM and going to the spring conference. In fact, I don't know if we can do this, Joe. I would like to do this because Joe has said this many times. She has met. I know. No, Joe has said this many times. Joe's our district governor, in case any of you didn't know who she was, by the way. That's why I'm picking on her today. She says she's met so many DTMs that cannot talk their way out of a
Paper bag.
a brown paper bag. They cannot talk their way out of it. These people, I'd like to give them the accreditation, HADTM. I'm telling you. But there's something else I like to call, it's called WW, it's called worthwhile. 1, 2, 3, WW?
Worthwhile.
I'd love to put that in front of a worthwhile DTM. Because these are the people that put worthwhile in front of the projects they do, the workshops, and the speeches. Every single time they come up, they're money. That's my new accreditation. I want to be a WWDTM, and I believe all of you can be a WWDTM as well. Give yourself a hand. Now we're going to go into a little QA, but also I want you to kind of, Lawrence, can you tell us about the other forms we have after we fill out the evaluations?
We're going to pass them some forms because being a DTM really is about goal setting and goal planning. So when you first became a Toastmasters, I'm not sure if you already threw out your book or whatever is inside. One of them comes with a member achievement. Now this one is basically a checklist for everything you do. And aside from that, towards the end, you also have some dates. like me, I plan to do it like May of 2015. So at the end here, let's say the successful club series, the date presented, moments of truth. Though I haven't presented it yet, I can put in when do I want to present it. That way I have a focus goal, I have the date to go on by. Another form we're going to be giving you is the Advanced Communicator Leadership tracks. So this will give you a guide on the hard ones for the CL manual. So if you have any questions, then we can proceed with it. Or do we have any questions about the tracks?
And we're going to do a Q&A right now, but at the same time, do we have the evaluation sheets?
Yes, we have an evaluation sheet.
Okay, so I'll hand those out. And at the same time, if you guys have some question and answers, fortunately for us, we can answer the questions. And just so you know, on July 1st, Lawrence and I are going to be helping people out, as Joseph had put across to us, and becoming DTMs. One of the great things is joining something called a DTM club that Joe started. And that's a once-a-month club that meets on the first Monday of the month. Is that correct, Joe?
Yes.
And do we have the venue? Do we have a strict venue on that at all?
No, we're experimenting with the North Hollywood because we wanted to make it more centralized. North Hollywood is a little more centralized than Glendale.
That's true. So mark on your calendars. Bye, Terry. Mark on your calendars the first Monday of the month. This first Monday coming up. That's going to be at the North Hollywood Fire Station, 6:30 p.m. If you want to become a DTM, this is an incredible club to go to. So go ahead and visit that as well. We're going to hand out the evaluation sheets, but please give us some, go ahead and do some Q&A. If you have some questions, Lawrence and I are here, and also we have Joe to help us out as well. So any questions?
I left my phone number in the board. Then if you want to leave your phone number too, so if you have any questions, you can give us a call.
I have a question.
Yes.
Please excuse my lack of awareness here.
No, please.
So I've been doing a lot of these things.
You have.
You have to bring your manual.
Always
to
do.
the club meetings.
I have 10, 20 times the same speed to different places because I went from Toastmasters to
Something else, and Lisa's brought this to our attention, which is a great thing. How many of your clubs use the free Toast host? The free website.
Oh, yeah.
The free website, that's where you actually sign on for roles. They have a record of everything you've done. So you can go onto the website, this is for everybody here, click on roles, specific name, because you can do everybody, or just choose yourself, because we want you to just do it yourself, Lisa. And it'll show everybody. In fact, that's how I got my first CL. Someone told me about that. I was in 2 different clubs. I combined both. I was in Cosmo and Northridge at the time, and found out all I needed to be was an Augur Marion, and I had my CL. So thank you for bringing it up. I appreciate that.
Actually, I have one more question.
Go for it.
I mentor people all the time, but you actually asked me to mentor someone in particular. Am I supposed to be sure she gets her 3 speeches done?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
this what this was about? Because I'm used to doing mentoring, so I'm not didn't aware it was an actual role that I was partaking in.
Exactly. To get the 3 speeches in, and then you have the Vice President of Education sign you off on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and make sure you mentor, because there are some who approaches us, oh, my mentee gave her first 3 speeches. Yeah, she did it without a mentor. She did it by herself. And obviously, I can't give credit for that. You really have to guide them.
We've been that several times. She doesn't return my calls, though. That's
Okay, we have a question over here from Sandra.
I did mentor somebody, but he's no longer in our club. I think he did 3 speeches. I need to follow up with him. Does that count?
If you can confirm with your VP of E.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to confirm.
Okay, and then have him sign up on that. Joseph?
I don't know, I was just gonna add on to this. Our secretary actually does the minutes. I don't know if other club secretaries actually actively do that, but we have a complete log via email and through Kenny. Keeps on.
You guys are on top of things, Joseph. I love that.
If you don't have Toast, that's an alternative.
Which club do you belong to?
Burbank Toastmasters.
Oh, Burbank.
Any other questions?
I'm going to pick on Colleen.
Okay.
Because you're in, what do you guys, West on America. Now it's called what?
Talk of the Town Toastmasters. We work for EIG in the Order Center.
Okay. I know you've been listening to us and you're way back there.
I am.
So I know you're also an inquisitive individual, so please put out a question that you possibly have. Unless we've been totally clear with everything.
I just feel like it seems a little overwhelming to keep track of. So what is your recommendation in terms of keeping things really simple?
To keep things very simple, first of all, especially for the CL, that chart that I gave to you, you carry that around and you get it signed up every single time and checked off. That's like the easiest thing to do. Because once you have that finished, you just hand it over to the Vice President of Education, and they electronically file it, and you get your certificate. That's one of the easiest things. And the same thing you can do on the Competent Communication book as well, which is great. You can actually do that on all the manuals. Isn't that correct? They all have that in the back?
They all have it.
All that in the back of the book that you can do just to, if you just want to have that one page. It's kind of nice to have all of it because then people write down little feedbacks and whatnot on it. But for the Vice President of Education, it's nice just to hand them that and say, give it to me. Ala, I know this is the first time you've been
Yes.
to a ladies conference.
Well, yes, it's the first time.
And so this is the first time you've been to any sort of association with the DTM workshop. Do you have any questions at all?
Well, I feel also a little overwhelmed, and I'm just thinking in my head what I need to do, given the situation of our club,
Yeah.
how to proceed. And
Well,
I
the
feel
great
very-
thing is you already have a CC, correct?
Oh, yeah, I have it a long time ago. I just don't keep track of my other speeches,
Now,
which I should be doing.
The CL, do you have the CL?
No.
We'll work on that. And remember, I'm up here. I will be the next DTM chair. That means any questions you have, please go ahead and shoot me off an email. I didn't put my phone number on there because I respond to email like this. That's the way I do it. I'll text you or I'll email you back. Lawrence?
Another recommendation if you're having difficulty is if you can also grab a mentor. Your mentor doesn't necessarily have to be in the same club you are, but somebody who can guide you through the process. Typically, it's statistics, what Roberta Blair said, there's only 1% of Toastmasters who ever becomes DTM. So becoming in this...
What's that?
I don't even think it's that high.
It's not even 1%, or it's even less than
I think she rounded up. She rounded up from 0.25 up to 1%.
That's out of 300,000 members across the world.
Yeah, so
300,000
members across the world, and less than 1% becomes DTM.
So you guys will be part of an exclusive club?
Yeah, so just imagine that becoming a DTM. In as little as 2 years, averagely I believe it takes 8 years. But if you can do it sooner, again, WW, quality. We're looking for quality here. We don't just have to rush through a DTM.
And do it a step at a time. That's what I'm saying, just do the math. The first thing, do your CL. And then all the qualifications from that point on, one at a time. Don't take it all in like, oh my God, I got to do all this stuff at the same time. Take it easy. You can kind of go ahead and do it. And many of you, like you said, how many of you said you were in dual clubs? Okay, so in Lawrence's position, how many of you are ACB? How many of you have advanced communicator runs? Okay. Anybody else? How many have you? Okay. Also as well. How many have your CL? Okay. Quite a few of you. All of you people could easily, if you become a district officer, could be at that stage being a DTM this year. Next year. Do the math. DTM, that's really all you have to do. One step at a time, you'd be surprised how quick it happens. I think we're good.
If you have any questions about the member achievement record, I'm going to be here the entire day.
Okay.
So you can approach me, because this is your guide. I know it can get a bit confusing, but just approach us.
And if you can fill out those evaluation sheets and bring those up, and I believe we have, if any of you want those forms, those extra forms that Lawrence has, please come up here and we'll give those to you.
And sign up sheet,
I hear it.
Is everybody signed up?
Yeah.